On that timeline, there is a picture of about 8 presidents from, I don't know when the picture was taken, maybe about 1990, and I have to tell you the file name of that photo, the digital file, was Old Presidents. I am not in the picture.
But you will be. Anticipating this event and having to say a few words, I posted a message on H Public, for which I got 2 responses, which leads me to believe that people read my posts on H Public with the same frequency they read my presidential columns in the newsletter. But to give it another material, I'll have to just rely on my own material now. I first joined NCPH in 1988 after becoming an assistant professor at Oklahoma State University, really not knowing what public history was or what it meant especially to be a public historian in the academy. And in the early stages of my career, NCPH was instrumental in helping me educate both myself and my department about what it meant to be a public historian generally and a public historian in the academy. And I don't think I probably would ever receive tenure without some of the assistance and ideas I got from people from this organization. So it served me personally very well. And after that, I kept coming to NCPH. I did count before I came. This is my 17th NCPH meeting. So I'm over half, I guess, not over 30 years. And I've always found a place where, I leave reinvigorated, recommitted. And I've had the opportunity over the last, I guess it's been 5 years, seems longer, as vice president, president for 2 years, and past president for 2 years. On the inside, so to speak, see how the organization really operates. And I think what excites me most about NCPH going into the future, because this is not just about the past, it's also about the future, is that, some years ago, the people who preceded me made a decision that NCPH needed to reorient itself. And that's a very courageous decision to make in an organization. And so there was a self-study done, and we redefined the role of the executive director, we redefined the terms of the officers. And I think the size of our gatherings over the last several years and the energy you see there is part of that. So I'm very proud that this is an organization that takes itself seriously, is willing to commit itself and look at itself critically once in a while and do what's necessary to serve the membership. And I especially think that in the hands of John Dickel and his staff, the future ahead looks very bright. So in addition to celebrating the past, I would encourage you to celebrate the present and look to the future. Thank you.
And last but not least is Jill Titus, one of our more recent associates with NCPH. How long have you been a member, Jill?
3 years.
3 years. So the new generation of public historians, Jill Titus.
So I have an object lesson that when you're the newest member of a committee, you wind up in front of the microphone. When I left my first NCPH conference, which was Louisville, I came home and told my husband that I never wanted to go to another professional conference again. But not for the reasons you're thinking. Not because I had a miserable experience, but rather because I had such a wonderful experience. I felt like I had really experienced a professional conference the way they're supposed to be experienced, that I had been an active participant, not just a bystander. I had helped to organize a panel. I had had a great conversation with an editor about a manuscript. I had met a lot of people, had conversations in the lobby, conversations in the elevator. And every professional conference I had gone to before that point, I had sat at the back of the room, slipped into a session, not known anyone, not talked to anyone, slipped back out. And I think many of you can remember doing something like that when you're new in your career, in your early days, you're attending conferences alone, you don't know a lot of people. It can be something of a lonely experience. And I think NCPH is the antidote to that. This is an organization that is very welcoming of new people, that offers new people opportunities to really contribute to the organization and offers responsibilities as well. And I think it makes it stand out as a professional organization. This is a conference and an organization where graduate students are welcomed and feel comfortable, where new professionals find places to fit in and find ways to advance their understanding of what it means to be a public historian. So as we think about what it is that we want to do for our next 30 years and what we want to be as an organization, I hope that we will retain that sense of openness and friendliness and that welcoming spirit to the younger, newer members of the profession. And from everything I've seen, I think that we'll have no trouble doing that. So, thank you.
Well, thank you, Molly. I know that NCPH means special things to a lot of you here in the room too, and I hope that you'll keep coming to our conferences, and when we have the 50th anniversary of NCPH, that there'll still be some of the same faces in the room. Well, with that, I would say the old presidents. Let them eat cake. There's cake. Happy birthday, NCPH, and please enjoy the conference. And we're glad to see you all here. Thank you for coming.